Hi people. Yellowstone is back with yet another episode, and we can't wait to discuss the most interesting parts of it with you. Each week, we're more impressed by Yellowstone, since the series never fails to move beyond the surface level and explore human nature and politics. This is a very unique premise since most shows lack such awareness. They only focus on an action-packed plot that will be more than enough to attract the audience. However, Taylor Sheridan, the creator of Yellowstone, is a smart man who knows the formula that attracts people the most. We, as the audience, want to watch a show that's not only entertaining, but also meaningful. No one wants to spend their valuable time on a show with an empty premise. We want our shows to contribute to us in one way or another. Yellowstone does this in multiple ways. It not only impresses us with the accurate portrayal of ranch life in modern-day Montana, but also makes wonders in handling its unique characters. All of these characters, and their interactions with each other, teach us something about human nature. In the end, we get to question our own lives and relations and improve our emotional state. Besides, the show is also great in exploring the local power struggles, particularly the politics. Even the shows that are specifically focused on politics make the mistake of treating the modern-day issues as if they appeared just yesterday. However, Sheridan knows that everything that has been going on today is rooted in the past. We're still struggling with the problems that our ancestors fought for hundreds of years ago. Collective memory is in action at all times, and Yellowstone is great at reflecting this on the TV screen. Episode 8 of Yellowstone Season 4 has become yet another installment of the show that provided a perfect example of foreshadowing to today's events through making flashbacks to the incidents of the past. The episode began with a flashback scene that is taking place in the 19th century. In the scene, we saw the Duttons, specifically Margaret Dutton and her two boys, on the dining table. When she asked her son John to pray before dinner, the boy made a short prayer, angering her mother. She warned him to mention his father's name during the prayer as well, since he was in a difficult situation at the time. The boy apologized and made a proper prayer this time. Then, we cut to James Dutton, who was going after horse thieves. As a talented man when it comes to his firearms, James had no issues in catching the thieves up and killing most of them. The only one remaining is left tied to a tree, to let the others know about the legacy of James. James' friend was injured in the chase, while James was looking fine, at least for a second. When he arrived home, he was bleeding heavily. Margaret went crazy, urged the boys to boil some water. Then, the door shuts down, and we are left only with the voices, screaming, crying, and even mourning. The scene suggested that James was killed while trying to protect his land and property. After this scene, we moved back to modern-day Yellowstone. In our opinion, this flashback scene had two purposes. The first one was to remind the audience that 1883 was premiering, and they need to watch them to understand Yellowstone better. It was a great marketing move for sure, since it was much more impactful than a trailer can ever be. The scene showed us the killing of a Dutton patriarch, which is always devastating and shocking. The second purpose of the scene, in our opinion, was to foreshadow today. We can easily deduce that John, Beth, and Casey have a lot of similarities to their ancestors in terms of their personalities. They didn't only inherit the Yellowstone ranch from them, but also their characters. Therefore, in our opinion, James' fate has a resemblance to John's fate, and this scene was a warning for us. We believe that just like James, John is also ready to die while trying to protect his ranch, his family, and of course, his lifestyle, as he expressed in his press conference last week. Even though this idealist stance is admirable, it's also a very dangerous sense when someone is dedicated to a purpose so blindly, he or she can easily overlook the injuries they get in the way. Therefore, we believe that this governorship race will be a tough one for John and will injure him a lot. We're not sure if he would be able to realize how much harm he gets in the way. Based on James' destiny, we can easily deduce that John will also realize his wounds too late. He will probably be victorious in the end, but it will be long overdue. Of course, this doesn't mean John will also die after winning the race. Yes, there are indeed some parallels between the past and the present. However, the circumstances have changed, meaning that we shouldn't interpret things too literally. We believe that John will have an emotional death after the race, since he will be forced to leave his humanity behind during his campaign. In other words, he will turn into a true politician, and his already morally great character will gradually transform into a villain as a signifier of his soul's death. What do you think of our analysis on Yellowstone Season 4 Episode 8? Do you think Sheridan gives importance to symbolism and foreshadowing? How do you see John's future? Do you think he is invincible? Do you see him as a hero or as a villain? Do you think you also have some parallels in your life with your ancestors? Let us know what you think in the comments below, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and share the video. Thank you for watching. See you soon.